Hey, welcome to episode 73 of Scar Bearers. I'm Chris DT Gordon. It is wonderful to have you here with me today. I was trying to think of some significance that the number 73 has in pulp culture. I really couldn't think of anything. I think my best friend growing up, he was born in 73. So we'll go with that. So there you go, Chris Hensel. I hope you're having a great day. So, if you are looking for someone to inspire and motivate students to work through their personal bacteria, as I call it, and increase their positivity and gratitude, please look for me on the interwebs at chrisdtgordon.com, or you can email me at chrisdtgordon@gmail.com. Now, Speaking of inspiring people, I'm with a fellow speaker and my friend, Ashley Keene. Ashley, how are you today?
I'm good. How is everybody? Hello. Me on.
So hopefully,
to be here.
Yeah, it looks really sunny where you're at. What is the temperature there, if I may ask?
It is like 80 degrees right now.
Yep, when we are recording this, this is in the beginning of summer, so it is hot. Hopefully, when people are listening to this, it's a little cooler, but summer's the time for beautiful weather, we hope. As I said before, Ashley, you and I are fellow speakers. In fact, we're part of a mastermind group that meets every Monday morning, and we're able to help each other out, give notes and encouragement to each other. And I don't know about you, but I found it to be very rewarding. How have you enjoyed the group so far?
I find it like it brings so many opportunities to the table that I didn't even know of. And it brings skills out of me that I have been left dormant or like that I want to enchant. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've found a lot of growth within myself, and I've seen you grow during our time with the group. And our friend Anthony was on here a few weeks ago, and our friend Duncan, who pops in periodically, he was on last week. So it's fun to connect with our speaker friends. And the reason why I speak is because of an incident in March 2015. You actually have your origin story, as I call it, a year before in 2014. So why don't you go ahead and give us some background information and then tell us what brings you here to speak.
So I got in a car accident on March 6, 2014. I slid snow days prior, and I may have slid on black ice, but no one will ever know. And I slid into a tree. Thankfully, my friend was following me, and he pulled over. Then saw how bad it was, called 911, and when 911 got there, the firefighters got there.
Okay, so if I may, I'm sorry to interrupt. Actually, what was going on before then? What was going on that your friend was following you?
We worked together at a pizzeria.
Okay.
In Plainview, New York.
Okay, and so Plainview, New York, I'm thinking as is like Minnesota here. It's pretty when it's winter time, like it is in March. It's pretty cold, pretty icy, and slippery roads are going to definitely happen during that time. So you're coming home from working at the pizzeria. Your friend is behind you, driving in his car.
No, he's in front of me.
Okay.
How he's seen my headlights veer off the road. If he was behind me, that would be bad.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. So he's in front of you. All of a sudden, he sees your headlights veer off, and then he turns around.
Yeah, he sees it in the rearview mirror that the headlights veer off the road, and I was slammed into a tree.
Yes, and so you said that the firefighters came and police came, and so what, were you awake at this time when they were all there?
No, I was unconscious. They really didn't know if I was dead or alive. until they brought me to the hospital where I was put in on the first 48 hours. I was on like death watch. They use a different terminology for it, but I don't know it. So it's death watch. And then once I made it past those 48 hours, they were very crucial. They had me in ICU for 1 month, and then they transferred me to rehab in upstate New York in Valhalla.
Okay. And so you are first in ICU. And how long were you in ICU for?
1 month.
1 month. Okay. Now, did they try to have you go through some rehab activities before you truly went into rehab, or are they just trying to strengthen you up and make sure you were ready for rehab?
I don't really remember a lot about Nassau because I had a traumatic brain injury. It makes it very spotty.
Yep.
But I know that when I was in Nassau, I was doing like some therapy, or like I was ready to be transferred to a rehab where I couldn't get therapy.
Okay. And so you get transferred to Valhalla, and you're not a Viking, so that means you're not dead. So you get to Valhalla, and what did they start you with for your rehab?
They started me with speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy.
All right. Now, during this process, how are you feeling? I because from my own experience, I have my own thoughts, but I just want to hear what you were going through mentally as you were dealing with, basically relearning how to do function as an adult.
Yeah. It was quite overwhelming, and I didn't really know exactly like what was all going on. Like my mind wasn't all there just yet, because I was still recovering. But as it later went on, like as the months passed by, because I was in there for 5 months, so. And I learned a lot. They taught me how to talk again. They did extensive physical therapy where they taught me how to have my balance again, walk again. Now, it was slow at first. I'm still slower than the average 24-year-old, but it's a lot better than it was. I went from a wheelchair to to a walker, to quad cane, to a crutch, to nothing now. So
Excellent.
I'm very thankful.
So go ahead.
And that just shows like how extensive the therapy was for me. I would wake up in the morning, and then I wake up, let's say at 8 o'clock. I didn't have my first, which was a speech therapy, my first therapy, until like 10 o'clock. Then I was in third speech therapy from 10 to like 12. Then I had a break for lunch. Then let's say I was physical therapy from 1 to like 2. And then from occupational therapy I went to physical therapy, and that was from like 2 to 4. So I had a long day.
Wow, that's a full I was gonna say full recovery is a full-time job.
Yes, it is. It definitely is.
Are there any exercises or activities that you did to recover that you remember with any sort of reverence, like you really enjoyed, or that you really shied away from, or really abhorred, you really didn't like at all?
Well, I have a story, if I can tell it real quick.
Definitely, it's your time.
My speech therapist in Valhalla, Blythedale is the name of the children's hospital in Valhalla. she was talking to me really slow, and I thought like she was trying to like say like kind of make fun of me, in other words. But that's how I was just taking it. She was just breaking it down because that's how it was. And that it really like hurt my feelings. But at the end of the day, like now I look back on it, I'm like, oh, thankfully she like stuck to that slow pattern to breaking up the syllables.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that when you are talking, you feel that you're talking in a normal rate, but when you think about the words
Yeah.
and you like right now, I'm imagining the words coming out of my mouth. I feel like I'm talking slowly, but it's just that I'm talking normally, but I'm putting so much thought into it. It feels like I'm talking at a slower rate.
Yeah, and that's what it was because I needed to process because I had a brain injury, process the thoughts. It was coming across that she was speaking very slow to me, but she was just speaking. But it
Okay.
was slower, but it was needed to be slower so that my brain could process it.
Hmm. I understand. So, what can you give me an example of a few of the different activities or exercises you did for physical therapy?
For physical therapy, I did a lot of balance. Like they would have me like walk, what they would like hold on to me to walk, and like they would really like and then like bend down for stuff because they were working on my balance, and I need to reach down, bend down, and grab it and pick it back up, put it over here on the other side. And it was it was challenging at first, but after I got used to it, which was like a long time, like years of doing it, then I started to be able to do it no problem. Even to this day, like I sometimes do some of the exercises just to improve my balance and my agility and stuff.
No, that's good that you do that because sometimes we forget those rudimentary, those fundamentals.
Yeah,
And the fundamentals are what got us here. And so
yeah,
it's good that you use those occasionally just to make sure you're solid.
yeah. And
So
then
go ahead.
so
No,
and
no,
I
please.
and occupational therapy because I broke my clavicle. Let me tell you everything that I injured. Okay, so
Sure.
I slit open the top of my right foot.
Hmm.
I fractured my pelvis, my left pelvis. Broke my left clavicle, and I needed like numerous. No one knows how many, but a lot of staples in my head because my head was like ripped open because I don't know. I don't know because I was in the car and I got
Probably
knocked
because you
out.
hit a tree with a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite the ordeal to go through.
Yeah.
And but throughout that, it sounds like you were very thankful.
Yes.
So
Thank
what exactly were you thankful for, Ashley?
I was thankful for my life that God gave who I believe to be God, gave me another day to give me an opportunity to go on to live through this. Although it wasn't always like how I imagined it. It turned out to be a blessing because I met my fiance. I live in Pennsylvania now. It was a lot of hard work, but I also believe that God doesn't give you any challenge that He doesn't think you're strong enough to face.
Hmm. I totally agree. And so, are there any particular moments where you felt it was really hard to be thankful for something, but you were able to find something to be thankful for anyway?
Um, Not necessarily because I always was thankful, grateful to be alive, to wake up every morning. I would say, like, I woke up and I would say a prayer and thank God for giving me another day on the beautiful earth. And but I remember one defining moment, and that happened to me in my recovery. It was these two options that came to my brain, to my head, to my thought process. Either, and I feel like it was God coming to me with a message, either saying, you have two options, Ashley. You can either give up right now and like not get any better than this, or you can fight with everything you got and make the most of life. And that's what I chose to do, because that I'm here today, making the most that I'm looking to inspire other people and give hope to them by using my experience.
No, that's fantastic. And I was going to get to that. So what are you doing today? I know we said earlier that you and I are both speakers, but what does that entail for you? What exactly are you doing to inspire others?
I am right now, I'm just like living, but what I'm looking to do is get talk to a lot of people, more people, rehab facilities, like people that hospitals that are going through like similar, not even similar, any aspect, because you can use hope and inspiration and motivation in anything in life. So yeah, so I'm just really trying to reach out to everybody and spread my message, create an impact.
So if someone were to ask you for one piece of information or one action they could do to help them on their journey, say if they found themselves in a situation similar to yours, what would you say to them to inspire them or to motivate them to keep fighting, as you say?
What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger with every heartbeat. I have that tattooed on my body, and that saying, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, really inspired me and kept me going, and was like my will to live. And that I have with every heartbeat across my back, because with every heartbeat you get stronger and you get better.
That's very inspirational. So looking ahead, maybe in the next year or so, what would you like to do with your speaking?
I would just like to create like an impact and like reach as many people as possible. Like that any challenge that you're facing, it's all how you view things. You could either view it negatively or you could view it positively. You could turn any negative into a positive, because that's what I did. And I mean, yeah.
No, I totally agree with that thought process. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I turn my negative into a positive. So Ashley, where can people find you if they want to reach out to you and connect with you?
They can find me at on Facebook, the Hope Trotter. I have a Facebook group, the Hope Trotter, and then I also have a website with Wixsite. And that is actually, hold on, I'm sorry.
No worries. You're looking it up, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
No worries.
My phone decided to overheat and like not work.
Uh-oh. See, your phone disagrees with you being outside.
Yeah, no, it's gotten a lot hotter. I have like sweat dripping down my back.
Okay. So you know what? If you can't get the website right now, well, I'll definitely put it in the show notes.
Okay.
So people could look for it there.
Okay.
But we know that you could people could find you on Facebook under the Hope Trotter.
Yeah.
So, and I thank you for giving us that one tidbit of information to help someone feel, feel inspired and to take action.
Yeah. And feel empowered.
Yes. Feel empowered. So I have one more question for you, Ashley. What is your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur would have to be T-Rex.
Okay, and why T-Rex?
Actually, it would be Godzilla.
Yes, I love God. Why Godzilla? Though I don't have to ask because I absolutely love Godzilla too.
It's just I can't remember the exact reason why, but I mean the name of like, do you remember on I forget what show it is, but there was a little dinosaur that I used to call like that wasn't Godzilla, it wasn't T-Rex, it was, I can't think of it right now. I'm sorry.
No worries. You're not thinking of Rugrats, are you?
Yeah, Rugrats.
Reptar. Reptar.
Reptar. There we go.
Okay.
The Reptar, and I don't know why. I just always love Reptar, and also my fiance, when I get mad, he called me Reptar.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching a YouTube video that connected Godzilla to Reptar, and I never. And I mean, I always knew that, but then when I saw the two of them together, oh yeah, there's definitely a resemblance there.
Yeah.
So, Ashley, thank you so much for your time today. I applaud you for your courage and your inspiring story. And I really hope they're able to connect with people so they can help this, so you can use your message to help them through their troubling times.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Definitely. So, folks, remember that you always have a choice. You can either, like Ashley said, give up or fight with all that you have to make today a better day. So I choose, I hope you choose to fight and make it every effort that you can to make today a great day, whatever endeavor you are pursuing. And with that, I thank you very much for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, share these messages like Ashley's and other people's so we can inspire the world to pass imperfection and go for greatness. And with that, I ask you to please have a great day and pass imperfection and go for greatness.